Guess what? Can you hear it? That gentle trickle from what we call an acequia. It's a ditch that feeds all the farms and ranches here in northern New Mexico. Well, in this area of northern New Mexico. But it's gentle. It's gentle. And that had me thinking about people that are maybe like me, that haven't always been so gentle with the things that you've been entrusted with, or even just things you buy, right? For me, I'm a guy I'm rough and I'm rugged. And usually I always need things that I purchase or things that I make to be bulletproof. A lot of people comment about this necklace that I have with this amulet. This is actually a meteorite, and it's really heavy. And yet I've had to make this chain multiple times because it's so heavy. And I need it to be durable. And I feel like I'm a kind of a durable guy. However, that durability isn't universally useful all the time. There's plenty of times where I've been criticized for being too harsh or too heavy, too intense. You can probably even see that intensity in my eyes, the intensity. And I know that I've probably been inconsiderate because of that. And I think a lot of guys, if you're walking around and you're hearing my voice right now, right? How as men can we be strong mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually, but be gentle in our nature? To be that gardener, that warrior, the warrior in the garden, that gentle spirit. However, knowing that there are absolutely times when the warrior needs to rise to the occasion, needs to step up. And it's something I'm still trying to figure out in myself. And I think about just life in general. For most people, life can be really harsh right now. It can be very challenging. They always say, right, weak men create hard times. So we're definitely in hard times, and yet that means there's a lot of weak men. And so I think one of the things that I struggle with is, because I present as so masculine, a lot of people think that I am like really intense or toxic masculine, And it's like I have a very gentle spirit inside of me. And I can tell you that I don't always show it. I think if any of you have been listening to my content for any amount of time, if you play it back, you can hear the gentleness start to come out in my voice and how I talk and how I present. And knowing that it's okay to let my guard down a little bit. And I think a lot of that comes with what I would like to call ego deaths, because the ego can do a number. It's done a lot of numbers on me. My ego has definitely pushed a lot of beautiful people away, right? It's caused me a lot of regret. It's brought me a lot of guilt and shame. And yet, can I just blame my ego? Oh, blame the ego. It's like, I can't blame the ego. I have to take responsibility, and guess what? You do too. If you are causing harm, even if it's just not being able to provide emotional safety and security for people that look to you and depend on you, right? And this goes for men and women alike. There's just as many wounded women as there are wounded men out there in this world that have yet to heal their emotional wounds. And yet there's that codependency that comes out, and that usually will create like toxic type relationships and connections. And I just believe it's time. It's time. It's time for people that are hearing this message to know it's not a mistake. It's not an accident. Your time isn't in the future. Your time is now. And, you know, I say that to myself every single day. It's like, my time is now. It's another day. Guess what? The time is now. Time to get a little better every single day. That's the mantra around here. 1% better every day. Little by little. Making improvements. Having those honest assessments. And it's so beautiful out here in nature, outside, because it was like stormy all day and you can see the clouds are still there, but now that the storm has somewhat passed, it's very calm, it's very gentle. And I think it's kind of reflective of me, right? I know that there's been times where I've had those storms brewing inside of me, and just those fits of rage and anger, frustration, irritation, and obviously the emotions, looking back, were usually won. They usually got the best of me. And guess what? That usually left me in a situation of really fucking underneath the surface, to be honest with you, sadness. Because I do give a fuck. I do care. And it hurts me knowing that I've hurt other people because of the wounds, because of the trauma that I hadn't healed at certain points in my life. And yet, here I am, going through and coming out of really another dark night of the soul, which is really where those ego deaths take place. For you to like do life on life's terms and sit there in the fucking emotional pain, and just figure out what the fuck's going on. I was thinking today in my breath work, here's the plug. If you haven't yet, you should click on that link down below. And it would be the greatest honor for me to introduce you to the power of breath in the Results Kill Excuses Breath of Life Healing Circle. It's going to be so incredible. Honestly, if you're hearing this, do yourself the most extreme favor and sign up. If you show up to 3 meetings, 3 sessions, and you feel like, it's all right. If you feel like, it's all right, I don't have any problem giving you back your money, man. But my guess is that by you trying it, you're going to keep going. You're going to keep staying locked in. And you're going to even start incorporating the power of breath into your daily practice, which is really my goal, is to inspire you to incorporate breathing into your everyday life, not just the 20,000 breaths that you take without even giving a thought. Intentional breathing. Pranayama breath. And so I was thinking today in my breath work how I've been so uncomfortable lately in, a season of separation, right? Like singularity. and desiring connection, right? Desiring friendships, intimacy, romantic connection. And yet I was asking myself in sort of a meditative state, I was like, what is the root of this? What is the root of this discomfort? Is it really about, the last person that it didn't work out with, or, all the people that it didn't work out with that has led me to here? But each and every one of those people, I send so much love and prosperity and health and success to, because, I know that part of what I believe is, we all chose this. We chose to connect. I don't think there's any accidents with people that you connect with. And it's so sad when you lose someone that is special. Is special to you, but yet what happens in all relationships is they're going to reflect to you who you are and the areas that you need to work on. And that's what's happening more and more and more and more now. I'm even surprised another dude that's out there, big time influencer. Him and his wife were both really on the face of their business and influence, and just, kind of always putting it out there. And now they're getting divorced, and so it's just, man, everyone's going through it right now. And I believe the reason why, here's my point. The reason why, you guys, is because you need to start getting to the root of who you are. Because the relationships of the future, the relationships of the new world, the new earth, if that's a new concept to you, I truly do believe that we're transcending this painful suffering of just 3D, hustle, grind, greed, politics, distractions, all the bullshit. And I think that humanity is transcending almost to like how they were in ancient times, where it was more about energy and prosperity of your purpose in life, your calling, like really truly understanding your gifts, not being so bogged down by the pain and the suffering. And yet the time to spend and invest in yourself to heal is now. Because if you think someone being in your life is what's going to solve your problems without you solving your problems, it's not going to work. I guarantee you it's not going to work. You're going to attract someone that has the exact same shit as you. And so as soon as the honeymoon wears off, there it is. There it is. There it is. And yet, if you could just take some time to work on yourself, if you're in a relationship that's volatile, right? If both of you are open to working on it, then that's a beautiful thing. However, it's challenging, because if one of you puts in more work than the other, that's gonna be a stressor, because you literally have to be on the same page. That's why I believe relationships are so stressed and disconnected right now, is because we're needing to evolve into the next evolution of what relationship is really about. And it's not about just procreation, settling down, buying a house, having 2.5 kids and white picket fence, getting both of you having jobs, going on vacation a couple times a year. I don't think that's what reality looks like moving forward. I think the seeds are being planted that what we're coming into is divine union, divine counterpart, which is bringing people together to truly be the fullness of that, of connection, male, female, divine masculine, divine feminine, in order to fulfill a purpose on this planet. And that purpose is to help to heal the planet, to be an example of healing, to be an example of divine union. Not just hustle and grind, not just building empires, but truly fulfilling your purpose and calling at the soul level, united together. And it's like, that's kind of a whole new ball game that I don't think I've even really talked about a lot here. But I was sitting there today breathing, and I'm feeling like that pain of loneliness. And I'm like, where does this come from? This ain't about the last person. I was married 21 years before I've been in a few long-term relationships post-divorce. This isn't about that. And I went all the way back, man. When I first felt alone, the first memory that I can remember being alone is when I was in my mother's womb and I had like whatever the spark of conscientious is, and it came on and I'm like, oh no. And I felt separate. I felt alone, away from my soul tribe, away from people and that love and that connection, because it was like this reality of like, fuck, Earth again? This thing? The density? The pain? Knowing that I had a purpose. I'm getting emotional right now. That I have a purpose on this planet. To really stand in truth and lead. To lead this march of people fucking healing, going within, and quit worrying about what's without unless it's just nature like this. Look at these views, man. Look at these views. Look at these views here, man. There's no complaints here. It's so gorgeous. Expansive views. Expansive. I love the expansive views. You have perspective. Down there, I can't tell who's who down there. I can't tell who's rich, who's poor, who's divorced, who's ugly, who's fat, who's healthy. I don't know nothing. I just see a community and it looks super peaceful. But at the end of the day, what's going on the inside is not that way. Because when you get closer and closer and closer and closer and closer, that's when you start to really pick up on what's really going down. But when you pull back and you get some perspective, man, that's like a quiet little peaceful village. But I bet you there's a lot of wild shit going on inside those dwellings, inside those homes. Because inside those homes are people, and inside people is what? Chaos. And we're all seeking it. We're seeking what? Peace. And the only way you're going to find peace is not by numbing your pain, right? It's not avoiding the work. It's saying, all right, I'm ready. And then taking action. Surrendering to the call. This is a call of action. This is not just entertainment. This is me putting out a call like a fucking results kill excuses sign saying, your time is now. It's a call to action. What actions are you going to take to improve who you are? Because as you improve who you are, you improve the relationship you have with yourself genuinely, real self-love, real self-care. Not this hypocritical shit where people just say, it's so-and-so, right? It's all about so-and-so, and it's like, your life is a mess. Okay, great. Right? Focused on other people instead of yourself. And that could even be spiritual, religious types. Right? No one's saying don't have some kind of a belief system, but at the end of the day, does your life emulate all the teachings? Mental health, emotional health, spiritual health, physical health, or are you just using it as a scapegoat saying, oh no, I'm everything that I've done bad is all cleared. It got all cleared. It's all clear. I'm just going to still live miserable, but no one's perfect, right? That's what we say. No one's perfect. That's not true. You are perfectly made. Unfortunately, because of the experiences that you've had, right? It changed you. It changed you. And the cool thing is about the healing is you can change back energetically. You can change back. You can open up your heart. You can set all of that trauma, all of those bad things free, including forgiving others and forgiving yourself, so that you can truly start walking in your power and your authority on this planet and tapping into the gifts and the creative talents within you to express those to humanity. That's an alignment with your truest purpose on this planet. Not just to frickin' punch a clock and get a paycheck. You are worthy of your dreams and having freedom by being in alignment with your gifts and your talents at the divine level. And if you'd like to get some help with that, got lots of resources here. You could reach out and get some coaching, greg@resultskillexcuses.com. You could click on one of those links down below or both of those links. You could get yourself a 1% Better Everyday Journal and start 91 days of journaling with positive affirmations, journaling made fun, right? Starting to figure yourself out, doing the curriculum that's packed into the 91 days, going from self-sabotage to self-mastery with over, I think, 40 videos taught by me about really cool things that you probably don't understand. Things like how to set boundaries, how to have healthy coping mechanisms, how to celebrate in your wins when you do have wins in a healthy way, trying new things, understanding your values. When was the last time you actually went through and sifted through and figured out what are your values? What do you value most? Most of y'all don't know this stuff. You're just playing it. You're just pretending to know shit. Because you got checked out way back in the day. And yet, the next opportunity is the Breath of Life Healing Circle. All you got to do is sign up, show up, and just surrender. Just surrender. And by surrender, I'm just saying just show up with an open mind and an open heart saying, I'm here. I'm not really sure what to do. That's perfect. That is exactly it. That's the spirit you need to be successful. To show up and say, I'm not really sure, but I'm going to try it. See what happens. I'm going to do some visualization. I'm going to do some reflecting. I'm going to connect with some new people. And guess what? I'm going to start learning how to breathe the breath of life, which is going to literally start to activate you, get you out of your head, start to de-stress yourself, put you in your body, this beautiful body, get you in your conscientiousness so that you can literally start to build a relationship with your higher power, with your spirit guides. You can start listening to your intuition more clearly and maybe doing some repairs there. It's going to be a beautiful time. There's going to be no regrets. I can tell you that much. Signing up, showing up, and participating, not one person is going to be like, I regret doing this. The only reason why you're afraid right now is because it's something new. And you're hearing it and you're like, he's selling me. Yes, I'm selling you. What else am I supposed to do? You're not going to appreciate it if it's free. So it's like, sign up. Because now you have an investment. And guess what? When you have an investment, you now have an expectation. And you have an expectation on yourself, and you have an expectation on me. And we can start with that exchange right there to where it's like, you made an investment. I got to show up. You got to show up. And now we can exchange. Now we can see, where's the value? Because I'm going to over deliver. Guaranteed, man. First day, you're going to be like, oh shit, I got my money's worth. That's how I felt. That's why I haven't stopped doing this breath for over, I'm over 100 days, nonstop. Showed up new in my life. I've done lots of different breath work, but nothing as power as the breath of life, the pranayama breath. So I hope that you'll consider joining me. I hope that if you're someone that's really hard, man, rough, that you're rough, right? That you open yourself up to start hearing this message more, giving yourself an opportunity to soften some of your edges. I know I'm doing that. I'm putting in the work, right? I don't want to have anybody telling me, man, you're way too intense, you're way too hard, especially a beautiful woman, right? It's like, I am intense, I am passionate, but I need to know how to switch that on and switch it off and, just be a more gentle spirit. It's not like I'm a harsh guy, but it's like I can get intense. I can be very passionate, I could be very intense. I'm definitely not the rager that I used to be. But that was a part of me. So I've come a long ways, and I'm really proud of myself. And I hope that if you're putting in the work, that you can see the results, that you're proud, that you spend some time being proud of yourself. But I'll tell you, if you are proud of yourself, you should celebrate. But you should do your celebration in a way that builds you up, not tears you down. A lot of people, it's like you want to celebrate in doing something that you're going back, you're going in reverse when you should be moving forward. Right? A way to celebrate an achievement is to try something new, right? Is to try something new, do something healthy, take a class of any kind. Could be an art class, could be an exercise class, just something brand new. And it's like, well, that's a little treat for myself. Maybe it's to go get a massage, right? Maybe it's to go to some hot springs. Maybe it's to do some kind of like a therapy. All right, I've been hearing about these cranials, right? Sacrals. Something new that I've heard about. I'm like, man, I'm probably going to go try that at some point. I need to find somebody that does cranials. I like trying new things. And I think you would be a lot happier if you gave yourself permission to try some new things, especially when you're doing it with intention. Because if you think you know it all, that means you don't know a whole lot. That just means you know what you know. And there is so much more out there, guaranteed. And I got a few of those secrets here with me. If you were to jump on board, 1% Better Everyday Journal, Breath of Life, Healing Circle. You gonna take me up on this offer or what? You can just keep listening, keep waiting, keep thinking. When are you gonna start doing? I say it should be now. I hope it's now. I'm cheering, I'm rooting for you. I'm praying for you to make the decision to start taking action now. Because the sooner you start, right, the sooner things start to change. And that doesn't mean it will be easy, but you don't have to do it alone. That is what this community is about. Results kill excuses. We're trying to build a community of like-minded people all around the world that are all in it to win it for themselves first, but not competing and criticizing and backbiting other people, right? Living in a place of unconditional love for self and for humanity. I love you guys. You know the drill. Results kill excuses, because if it was easy, it wouldn't be worth it. Greg's out.